Ita, my son's GF had me thrown out of the hospital.
My son has a congenital heart condition.
I didn't know when he was born, but at 9 days old, he had his first open heart surgery with a valve replacement. Over the years he has many different surgeries and recently had his fourth aortic valve replacement due to a bacterial infection and truly almost died.
He's 29 and doing great now.
He has a GF with whom he has lived with for 4 years now, and this was the very first time she had been in this situation, so I understand that it is very scary. Because of the circumstances, she and I stayed in a hotel for a few nights together. She paid for most of it, in fact. One day I asked my son if he wanted me to leave and let him and his GF have some days to themselves, and I would go back home and see him in a few days.
All good, and I go back home. We text and talk every day, and I visit on the days he asked me to come down.
Surgery is scheduled and I know that he wants his GF to be the last person he sees, so I'm not even there when he goes in for surgery. Due to the bad infection and the damage to his heart valve, the surgeon calls me, as his next of kin, and asks for permission for many things, to which I agree.
One was an induced coma.
I call his GF and explain all of it to her. I rush to the hospital, sign all the consent papers and sit with my son who's on a breathing machine in a coma.
His GF had plans with her family that day, and when he was wheeled into surgery I told him I would call her and tell her he loves her, and I do.
Ita? Because 8 hours later I see his GF in the family waiting room and she starts screaming that I'm a psycho, call security. As calm as I can be I say, GF, he can have 5 wives but he only has 1 mother, and I walked out. Next day, I get what she told my son, less than 12 hours after all that, but I am no longer his next of kin or even allowed at the hospital anymore, having been told in a text. Ita?
I didn't fight about it, didn't go back, nothing.
Now they're in counseling, no shame in that emo, and my son sent me a text saying that his life is off the rails. BC, I hate his GF, I'm a psycho.
And I lied about what happened in the family waiting room.
Ita? Facts be facts is all I am saying, and I know the GF must have been scared, but there's no ring. I say it once more. Ita, BC, I said that my son could have 5 wives but only has 1 mom.